trying to figure out how to start this channel, I went through a number of ideas, including just doing a normal introduction video, until I realized no one actually cares who I am. Then I had an idea. Why don't I start how I started? So I went back into the archives and I rediscovered an educational show me and many other people grew up watching. Yeah, that explains me pretty well. Crashbox was a Canadian-American educational television show that aired in 1999 and 2000 for 2 seasons or 39 episodes. Also, it apparently aired in Asia, which must have gone over well. My god, I'm going to hell. Think of it as HBO's answer to Barney, except instead of really cute and cuddly, it's gross, disturbing, awkward, strange, disorienting. The whole show takes place in a computer, and all the games you play are meant to be computer games these little rusty stop-motion robots make for you. Kind of like a game show for kids, except the game assumes you're stupid.
What's the matter with ye? Can't you solve this puzzle without me having to hold your manicured little hand?
The show features a cast of that grumpy old guy from your relative's retirement home, your high school math teacher, and your college roommate. I guess if I'm going to talk about Crashbox, I should probably talk about each of the games. Each of these segments will probably be pretty brief since the games are pretty simple. Distraction news is what you get when you take crack cocaine. The point of distraction news is to teach kids to pay attention. The host,
Dora Smarmy,
teaches about the topic of the week as this happens. The animation is this weird paper puppet, or maybe stop motion animation. Whatever it is, it just looks creepy as hell. Is that Gollum? You'd think this is named Sketchpad because someone uses a sketchpad. But no, it's because some guy named Sketch draws in his pad. They use a looped animation with a comic aesthetic to it. Imagine a logic puzzle game, except where none of the solutions make any logical sense.
So you gotta ask yourself, when does a guilty man with an innocent twin brother get to walk free? When he's not just a twin, but a Siamese twin.
I'm sorry. What the fuck?
Psychomath!
I take back what I said about distraction news. This is what happens when you take crack cocaine. Psychomath is a math game. Why did I write that? Psychomath is a game that tries to basically be algebra but cool, I think. Instead of numbers, you get placeholders like...
Take the minutes in and out.
And you just have to solve the equation. Except there's no way a child would understand some of these.
Divided by the days it rained on Noah and his ark.
Like what kid is gonna understand this? Like, I'm an adult and I had to think about one of those. Also, this guy definitely gets off to math.
Very patiently!
Here we are!
Hey, listen up!
Before I say anything about this game, I would have known. My first note was just, oh my god. So I think this is like a sound recognition game. They complete stories that give you a location based on the sounds they make. I really do think this was made to make earbuds, and no other reason. I know that's an earring, but it looks like earwax. Basically ear poop.
Haunted house party!
This is actually a pretty cool idea for a game, albeit a bit morbid. The idea is in this house, it's all dead historical figures. They give hints to their identity and your goal is to guess who it is. The only problem is, a lot like the math game, some kids just aren't gonna get this.
The mysterious mystery guest is... I'm Paul Revere, and I really have to get going. Breaking news, you know. Bye!
Like, I'm sorry. If you're young enough to be watching educational TV, you probably don't know who Paul Revere is yet.
Hey, folks, this game is edible.
Your old pal Eddie Bull here at the exciting Walla Walla Washington Zoo. This week we're going to...
Eddie Bull, he's edible. He really is incredible. He's simply the best of the bunch. There's simply no disguising that he's so appetizing that we want him for our lunch.
Well, that's horrifying. I guess this game is, what animal ate Eddie? He's so nonchalant about it too. He's just sort of like, oops. The animals sing this song about when you eat him at the start and the end of the game. Why? This would scar a kid. I'm sure this scarred me when I was younger. This is awful. Like, who in their right mind would show... Oh, yeah.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's just Remus Puzzles.
Next game up, Riddle Snake.
Don't be fooled by the name. These are just jokes. Really, really bad jokes.
Where was King Solomon's temple? On his forehead.
The main gimmick here is that the snake charms the man instead. While it's kinda cute, I mean, come on, when's the last time you heard a kid say, I want to be a snake charmer when I grow up?
First game up, Radio Scramble.
This game is basically just anagrams. This radio host plays a song or an advertisement, and one of the words is jumbled up. And using the context around the word, you have to guess what the word is supposed to be. There really isn't much for me to make fun of here, other than, the microphone man himself. This game's about a depressed and lonely pirate skeleton who does math for fun. Basically, from what I saw, he makes a math puzzle out of his bones, and you move a few of them to fix it. Think of it as a math correction game. You can either be correcting an equation, or you could be fixing a math-related picture. Oh, and the captain swears at you the entire game.
Then you're not fit to walk the decks of me ghost ship, you crustacean sucker knock-kneed squid face plank walking sackers.
Poop or scoop?
This is a true or false game about animals. There's always 2 true and 2 false. This disembodied voice with a purple hand hosts the game and acts like an old-timey stage act. I don't know why I'm laughing.
Word shake. Word shake.
Uh-huh. Well, this one is hosted by a French chef who takes 2 sounds and mashes them together. It's kind of a phonics game, I guess. I don't know. I don't actually see how this would help a kid. By the way...
I had too much, no? We French, we are so funny, no? Don't you think we are so hilarious? Okay, let's do another.
No, let's not do another. I really hate this game. This guy's just obnoxious. He's constantly screaming. Hell, I hate him so much that upon rewatching the first 10 episodes for this, it's the only game I didn't even vaguely remember. I think I actually suppressed my memories of this guy.
Next game up, Mugshots.
It's 3 truths and a lie, except reversed. This detective tries to solve cases where there's 4 suspects and one of them is telling the truth. The others are lying. I'm sure there's a few where it's normal 3 truths and a lie, but I didn't see any. Also, the lies are extremely blatant lies.
Yesterday, I was out picking out flowers for my girlfriend on account of today being Valentine's Day. I picked out azaleas and influenzas.
Like, yeah, that guy's lying. Look, I get it's a kid show, but is it really?
Like totally Paige and Sage.
Hey guys, check it out. Here's Paige and Sage.
I'm sorry, what? Okay, this is a spot the difference game. Paige and Sage do the exact same thing, but with a few differences. I'm sorry. This doesn't fit at all. The show is obviously meant to be marketed towards boys, which meant something back then. So what is happening here? This is so left of field for everything else I've seen. The show's been so grimy and balls to the wall. Now we've got stereotypical 2000s teen girl. What is this show?
Stand by for Lens McCracken.
Oh, good. Another detective. This game seems a bit weird. You're shown an extremely close-up photograph of something, and you have to guess what it is before he puts it in his machine.
The Solutionator.
He does all this to solve cases that are honestly inconsequential. He can also look at the 3 pictures and get a story that's so elaborate, Agatha Christie would be impressed.
Octavia Podiatrisk, the Slovian ice skating Olympic champion, was practicing figure eights down on Old Lake Schmendel when summer suddenly approached, causing the ice to melt and sending her into the warming water. Just then, a paperboy riding a bike on his delivery route saw the flailing Podiatrisk, and although unable to swim, he used the straw from the soda he was drinking to suck the lake dry enough for the skater to walk out, while unfortunately doing away with all the life-giving water the fishes needed to live. The paperboy, embarrassed by his inability to swim, ran away, never to admit his courageous act, and so we crack another case wide open.
Next game on the way. Dirty Pictures.
Something feels weirdly off about watching this one. This woman cleans some museum art while this guy kinda hangs out. I'm like 90% sure he's also an exhibit that's alive. The museum art is some sort of historical figure, and you have to guess who it is. Of course, it's always someone kids in 1999 would know, like Hillary Clinton. What?
Tank!
Oh, no. This is... How? Who allowed the... Oh, Jesus. Okay, that aside... Think Tank takes place in a fish tank. This guy gives you 3 things and you have to tell him what they have in common. Honestly, yeah, this one's kind of clever. This is actually really cool, and while I don't see any educational value here, it could be fun, even though sometimes it gets a little too real.
You're all things that break. Ain't that grand, man? A wave breaks on the beach, a heart breaks, and a dinner plate breaks too. Smashing!
If you know this show, you know who I saved for last. The Revolting Slob. Easily the most iconic character from the show, for reasons you can probably guess. The best note I wrote for this is, and I quote, "The Revolting Slob does things. Ew." It's a word association game. The slob does something, and the woman narrating asks you to guess which word describes what he's doing. However, the words are always reflecting, that. Oh, dude, that's so gross. Why did I love this guy so much? Imagine being the guy in that suit. Oh, yep, don't even want to think about it. This game also easily is the weirdest running gag. You see at the end of every episode, the Revolting Slob, blows up.
Obliterated means destroyed completely. No slobs or flies were harmed in the filming of this show.
So that's every game in Crashbox. There is one more thing they do, though.
It's time for Crashbox Rewind, where we flash back through the show and remind you how smart you really are.
This is meant to be like a recap of everything you've learned in the episode. But, yeah, let's look back at something. Who is this show for? Like, yeah, children, obviously, but no child in the age range of educational television is going to understand most of this. Hell, I struggled finding Blue's Clues half the time, let alone name Napoleon Bonaparte. This wasn't intended as an older child educational show, was it? If so, why? I wasn't in 5th grade watching educational television. I was way past it then, so I doubt they intended it for them. So who? Who was this made for? Regardless, I guess it worked. Me, and I'm sure thousands of other children, grew up watching this as a result of the imagination of Eamon Harrington, John Watkin, and director Dave Thomas. So on behalf of me and all of them, thank you guys so much for contributing on getting me to where I am today. By that I mean sitting here, reading off a page about your show that inspired me to make a YouTube video when I was 20. I give Crashbox 6 slobs out of 9. This wasn't a review until just now, but now it is. Okay, bye!